Welcome to another story time. So, we're carrying on with our story, George's Marvellous Medicine, and we're now at chapter number 9. Now, who can remember what happened last chapter? It was called The Brown Hen. What happened to the hen? Why did George give the hen medicine? Was he trying to prove something? If we look back, remember, Grandma said that she was wizardry. I have wizardry tips of my fingers. She doesn't believe George when he said he did it. He made the medicine. So what did George do? He gave the hen some medicine to prove Grandma wrong. And what happened to the hen? Now, the hen did grow bigger, yeah, and taller, but he didn't grow long and thin like Grandma. He just grew a lot bigger. So he was nice and big and plump. So the next chapter is called The Pig, the Bullocks, which is like cows, the sheep, the pony, and the nanny goat. So all these other animals in the farm, what do you think is going to happen? Let's find out, shall we? At that moment, George's mother came back from shopping in the village. She drove her car into the yard and got out. She was carrying a bottle of milk in one hand and a bag of groceries in the other. The first thing she saw was the gigantic brown hen towering over little George. She dropped the bottle of milk. How do you think Grandma's feeling here? Not Grandma, how do you think Mum's feeling here? She's seen this massive hen standing over George. Do you think she's worried? Do you think she's confused? Do you think she's scared? Maybe she's scared about the hen, but maybe she's also scared and worried about George. I would say she's definitely confused. Why is there a giant hen in the back garden? Then Grandma started shouting from the rooftop, and when she looked up, she saw Grandma's head sticking out through the tiles. She dropped the bag of groceries. "How about that hen, Mary?" Grandma shouted. "I bet you've never seen a hen as big as that. That's George's giant hen, that is." But, stammered George's mother. "It's George's magic medicine," Grandma shouted. "We both had it. Then the hen had it. Hen and I." "But how in the world did you get up on the roof?" cried the mother. "I didn't," cackled the old woman. "My feet are still standing on the floor in the living room." This was too much for George's mother to understand. She just goggled and gaped. So, one of the things we didn't say was that she would be very surprised. If you look at her face, she's shocked and surprised. She's goggled, her eyes are goggled, and she's gaping. So basically, she's standing with her eyes wide open and her mouth open as well. She looked as if she was going to faint. A second later, George's father appeared. His name was Mr. Killy Cranky. Mr. Cranky was a small man with bandy legs and a huge head. He was a kind father to George, but he was not an easy person to live with because even the smallest things got him worked up and excited. The hen was standing in the yard was certainly not a small thing, and when Mr. Cranky saw it, he started jumping about as though something was burning his feet. "Great heavens!" he cried, waving his arms. "What's this? What happened? Where did it come from? It's a giant hen! Who did it?" "I did," George said. "Look at me!" Grandma shouted from the rooftop. "Never mind about the hen. What about me?" Mr. Cranky looked up and saw Grandma. "Oh, shut up, Grandma," he said. It didn't seem to surprise him that the old girl was sticking out from the roof. It was the hen that excited him. He'd never seen anything like it. But then, who had? So Mr. Cranky's really excited about the big hen, but he doesn't really care so much about Grandma. Why do you think that is? Now, remember, Mr. Cranky's a farmer. So why do you think he'd be so excited about a big hen? Do you think it might be because the hen might lay giant eggs? I think so. They could have massive eggs, or maybe they could sell some of them. "It's fantastic!" Mr. Cranky shouted, dancing around and around. "It's colossal! It's gigantic! It's tremendous! It's a miracle! How did you do it, George?" George started telling his father about the magic medicine. While he was doing this, the big brown hen sat down in the middle of the yard and went cluck, 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 cluck. Everyone stared at it. When it stood up again, there was a brown egg lying there. The egg was the size of a football. That egg would make scrambled eggs for 20 people, Mrs. Cranky said. So we were right. The fact that the egg was, Miss Cranky was so excited because the egg would be massive. George, Mr. Cranky shouted, how much of this medicine have you got? Lots, George said. There's a big saucepan in the kitchen and there's this bottle here that's nearly full. So what do you think he's going to do now to all the other animals? Yeah, I think he's going to give it to all the other animals. Come with me, Mr. Cranky yelled, grabbing George by the arm. Bring the medicine. For years and years I've been trying to breed bigger and bigger animals. Bigger bulls for beef, bigger pigs for pork, bigger sheep for mutton. Then they went to the pigsty first. George gave a spoonful of medicine to the pig. The pig blew smoke out from his nose and jumped about all over the place. Then it grew and grew. In the end, it looked like this. Shows you how big the pig is, because look, there's George and Mr. Cranky. So the pig's massive. Then they went to the herd of fine black bullocks. Mr. Cranky was trying to fatten them up for market. George gave each of them some medicine, and this is what happened. Again, here's the cows, and look how small George and Mr. Cranky are. Wow, this medicine's really working. Then the sheep too. So look, that's when they start off. They go all the way up the top, and then again, look how big they are. Then he gave some to his grey pony, Jack Frost. So look, here's where the pony starts off. It gets bigger and bigger, and then look how big he is in the end. And finally, just for fun, he gave some to Alma, the nanny goat. So again, here's the goat. And then look, it's massive in the end. And that's the end of that chapter. So he's given all of the medicine to the different animals. So overall, we did think that Mr. and Mrs. Cranky, when they first saw it, they were really shocked or surprised. Yes, I think maybe Mrs. Cranky is probably a little bit worried. Then Mr. Cranky, he got really excited, didn't he? He got really excited because he thought, well, if the hen's that big, it might lay eggs that big. Then he had an idea. And what was the idea? Yep, to give the medicine to all the other animals. And that's what they did. So the next chapter is called A Crane for Grandma. So I'll let you have a little look at the picture. Why do you think they're craning Grandma out? What else do you think might happen in this chapter? Okay, what I want you to do for today is to see if you could draw some animals before you gave them the medicine, so small animals, and then after, just like in these pictures. The animals start off small and then they turn into giant. Remember to draw something next to it, like yourself or like George, to show how big the animals actually got. Okay, see you tomorrow for another chapter. Bye.